Hello, we are live. Let's go.
We should be live. Should be live. Checking if we are live.
We are. I can see analytics.
You can see analytics. I can't see
Yes.
कि चालू हुआ है अभी तक. Like,
Hmm.
हाँ now
Refresh.
now we are live. Now we are live.
Yes.
Yes.
So,
So
where do we
hello.
start, Aryan?
हाँ, we start with the intro. I think.
Huh.
Yeah,
Okay.
Okay.
Let's give the mic to Neural Net and
हाँ पहले
we
let's
listen to
let's
him.
हाँ let's figure let's do our intro and then we can start. Shorts ही
yeah.
Yeah.
बनाना है.
I
ठीक
am
है.
Neural Nets,
Yes.
and yeah, you have seen me posting on Twitter every day, and I basically love posting about stuff I study every day, or let's say if I'm doing learning something, or if I think I can explain something better in to people. That's something that I usually share, or maybe like rant about my whole day. So yeah, that's what I do. I randomly post on Twitter.
So how long have you been doing this?
Uh,
And what sort of content are you posting about?
So basically, content wise, it's something like, yeah, I've done this like a lot, but recently the Twitter thing I have started very recently, like
Mm-hmm.
I think around June to August period. I think I started it, and like it's something that I wanted to do. I wanted to like share my content or like share knowledge. Basically, I wanted to have a space where I can where I'm learning something, I can share it with people and they can put their input. I learn something new, they learn something new. Basically, a conversation with the
Yes,
whole world.
got
So
it.
that's something I
Hmm.
wanted to do on Twitter, and I'm really lucky, I would say, that I have that amount of reach that I can have conversations with around like 20,000 people every day. So, like, I
Yes.
consider myself lucky for that. Like,
How long did it take you to like reach 20K?
so for me, the whole thing was that the first 2 3 months were really dry. I had like 20 30 followers and like 2 3 likes per post. And
Mm-hmm.
don't think that those posts were not similar to you what you get right now. I used to
Mm-hmm.
post projects and everything. Like I used to post like very good projects, not good
Mm-hmm.
projects, like yeah, projects that take
Interesting projects.
yeah,
Interesting
yeah,
part.
projects that take time basically.
Hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
like that's something where what I didn't get like I didn't get reach at first. Then suddenly what happened, so I had a very interesting professor.
Uh,
So basically, if you know, in CS there is, we had a lab called software lab where we used to just code random stuff, okay.
mm-hmm.
So and the professor there had given me a thing to make a video player, okay. So the whatever the, let's say, VLC, you use VLC on,
Yes.
we used to use VLC, right? So
Mm-hmm.
basically, what he
I
told me,
remember
you have
this one.
you have a video, for
Mm-hmm.
example, you have to break that video down to some optimizable data type. You have to store that in a optimized thing, and then you have to again play it. So that is
Mm-hmm.
some project I made, and like I think that video, that like post got like 2 million views,
Mm-hmm.
and that
Oh,
like skyrocketed and everything. And I knew that if I follow this trend, right? See,
yes.
like I had to perform like the audience wanted. The
I
audience saw,
guess Jitna, I remember you posted this, and after that, you posted a explainer of the entire project,
yeah,
as
yeah,
far as
yeah.
I remember. Interesting.
Yeah,
Nice.
basically, I knew like the audience wanted something tech. Okay, so
Ah.
they saw me a person who knows tech. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
what
Hmm.
I needed to provide to them is tech. So since that day, I'm just providing tech to them. That's it. Like you have
Nice.
to also see when you're posting on Twitter or posting on anything, you have
Hmm.
some duty also to your audience, right? They are
Yeah.
they are there to see your content as well. If I shit
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
post all day, it won't make sense, right? So
Mm-hmm.
like yeah, even if I post random stuff every day, I should be
Hmm.
there to post something that will help them for the day.
Valuable as well.
Got it.
I
Got it.
guess I made this mistake personally. I used to post a lot of valuable things. I got followers because of that, and then I started shit posting for like a brief span of 2.5 months, and then पूरा account dead हो गया था. किसी भी valuable चीज को reach नहीं मिली थी.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But
like I'll add something with this.
हाँ,
Like I don't know why people don't do this, but Twitter has its whole code open source. You can check the
Mm.
whole code, and in the code it is written ki if you don't post according to your cluster. So what Twitter algorithm does is basically they put you in a cluster. So for example, if let's say I am talking about machine learning, right? So
हाँ.
my cluster is machine learning. Now if I start posting cat videos, right? So what
Ah,
Twitter does, if I don't post in my cluster, it basically senses that I'm not posting something related to my cluster. It will heavily penalize my reach, around 99% reach deduction. So
Hmm.
so it will force me to go back to the cluster. So basically, now let's say if I
okay.
want to go to cat videos, right? So I slowly
Ah,
start shifting to cat video cluster. So
Hmm.
mm.
after I start getting reach on cat videos, I should remain in cat videos. So don't change your cluster when you're on Twitter. It's
Got
as
it.
simple as that.
Okay.
That's the secret for reach, I guess.
Yeah,
This
there.
was something new. Is there
Hmm.
a way to find your cluster?
Yeah,
हाँ.
like what? See, if you see, like for example, if I post blogs or informative content, right? So
Hmm.
that
Mm.
gets reach. Now, if I put a content like today I had anda poha for breakfast, right? That will get maximum 50 likes. Okay, so that's not
Hmm.
in my
Okay.
cluster. So people's
Hmm.
Ah,
TL will not have that.
okay. Got it.
But like for a new guy who's coming on Twitter, how do you think, like I still have like around 800 for 700 followers, right? So for them, what do you think, how do you define your cluster? Is it based out of people who you are following, or people whom you are getting followed by, या फिर कुछ और different है?
No, see, I'll tell you like two, three basic tips when you're starting out. Starting
Hmm.
out, it's blank. Okay. So,
Hmm.
like for example, if you post, I don't like these are some rules you should follow. Like if you post videos or
Hmm.
images, you
Hmm.
get a 5x boost on your reach.
Hmm.
And if you post links, your
Hmm.
post gets 90% deduction. So,
Hmm.
and you have high risk of getting banned. So don't ever post links on the main tweet. You can post it in replies. It's okay. So like these are some
Okay.
things, and suddenly what will happen is that your for me, right? I was getting 2 3 likes per post, and
Hmm.
suddenly something will click. So you have found
Okay.
your cluster back then. You have to just wait
Hmm.
for that one click. Like even the smallest accounts nowadays can get viral over a post. You can see it. Every small account has gotten a viral post randomly.
Hmm.
Yes.
Interesting,
It,
interesting.
ah,
बट हाँ,
I
कमिंग
guess.
बैक टू आवर टॉपिक, हम लोग यहाँ पे कंटेंट की बात नहीं करने आते हैं. सो
Mhm.
आर लाइक आर एजेंडा, राइट, इज मोस्टली अबाउट कि how do you first figure out, like I know for a fact that if you are interested in research, or if you're interested in like things which requires speciality, like I am a what is it called, I'm not a specialist, I'm a generalist. That means I would work in 5 to 10 different fields, but I don't have clue about us, like in detail मैं किसी को भी नहीं जानता, ठीक है. I just know about couple of them, like more than average, but many of them I'm just average. So I call myself a generalist. But for people who are specialist, I think for them a field like research, or a field like getting into depth of anything is important, right? So as a student, if you are a specialist, what should your roadmap, or how, where can you get resources, how do you get into this, how do you build that network? These will be our important questions. अभी जहाँ तक मैं कमेंट्स पढ़ पा रहा हूँ, जो लोग हम लोग को रिस्पॉन्स दे रहे हैं, दे are more interested into what are your areas of research. How, maybe the next questions that we can add on top of it is कि how do you do your research. Okay, आज तो मतलब
Ah,
many of people
yes.
think भाई chat gpt पे जाके we can just do the research, or perplexity use करके we can do the research. But what's the best way
Mm.
to do research or get started with the research? We'll go one by one with all these questions, but first let's target key people. I think majority of the people who are looking at us at the moment are people who already have been into the research field, because they might be your or mine following, ठीक है. So how do
Mm.
you get started with research? How do you define what are you researching about, ठीक है.
Yeah. Should I
And
do the
I guess,
generalist thing first? Or should I just tell like the specialist or generalist thing?
हाँ हाँ चलेगा,
yes.
give me your
Should I just
opinion
tell
on
Give
that?
your
that.
flow.
I have heard your questions. I've noted it down. I'll answer
Hmm.
the
Perfect.
question next. Okay. So
And
the
I
first
guess
question being,
answer it with your story, like
yeah,
to
yeah, yeah. Of
what
course.
are you doing with
So,
that example.
like,
So yeah.
being generalist or specialist is something like me personally, what I think is you should be a generalist. It's
Okay.
really bad if you're just focusing on one thing because
Hmm.
you have to learn everything. I'll tell you an example. Okay,
Hmm.
so my first research project was a reinforcement learning project. Okay,
Hmm.
reinforcement learning being a very untapped resource. Nobody does research on it.
Hmm.
Like, literally, like you can't find research projects on reinforcement learning. So that was
Hmm.
1 year ago when nobody was doing it. Okay, so I
Hmm.
did reinforcement learning, and it's something that I don't even work with nowadays. Okay,
Hmm.
now DeepSeek got released and they have used reinforcement learning. So if I didn't know that, I can't understand how DeepSeek works, for example.
Huh. Huh.
So like the way they have written, like when I am reading it, I understand. Okay, yes, काम करना and this is this. So like,
Hmm.
and for example, let's say like I will even give you an example of like you in CS there are some courses which I don't think you people think they don't need it. For example, I have an electronics course called Signals. Okay,
Huh.
so some people will think, okay,
Hmm.
why am I studying signals? Why should I study a hardware
Huh.
subject? Yes, right.
Hmm.
Signals has a very important concept called correlation function and convolution. Okay,
Hmm.
base of CNNs is that. So if you can understand how convolution works, like even like in the CNNs, it's not a convolution; it's a
Hmm.
correlation function. So if you understand the difference between them, and like if you understand random stuff, right? Like if you pick up random subjects and try to understand that, if you completely try to understand that, and if you apply it, that's what matters. You should be knowing basics of everything,
Hmm.
but no, being specialist in one thing, that's the
Hmm.
thing. You
Got
should
it.
know the basics. Like even like people, I think people say a lot, "Ki my first year subjects are so useless,
Huh.
why
I
am I
am.
doing those?"
Yes, I'm one of them.
Yeah, like there are, okay, there are some useless subjects, I agree.
Huh.
Like you will not need like for example environmental science, you might need if you're going to research related to that, but
Hmm.
for example subjects like for example physics, right? Now
Hmm.
people will think, why should I study quantum mechanics?
Correct.
Not even doing anything in quantum.
Yes.
Hmm.
So, quantum mechanics will teach you to use calculus in many ways that ML is very similar in. Your calculus base will get really strong if you
Hmm.
do quantum mechanics. Like everything has gains. So, like, be a generalist for basics, and for a specialist, choose one.
Hmm. On top of this, I think there is something called a T stack. Isko, we can say a T stack. Basically, if you look at the letter T, right,
Yeah,
it is like one dandy, and then there's a this, right? So you become specialist in one field. That means you have knowledge of one field, and using that one field, you then expand your domains. Isko T
yeah,
stack बोलते हैं. I think that's
And
what.
I
Yes.
guess quantum mechanics से याद आया, I was recently reading a lot about qubits,
हाँ.
and वहां पर I realized कि जो या फर्स्ट ईयर में quantum mechanics का वो physics का कोर्स था PHY 101, वो बहुत जरूरी था इसे अंडरस्टैंड करने के लिए. आई वॉजंट गुड एट दैट कोर्स, आई डेंट गेट अ गुड स्कोर, बट मुझे टर्म्स पता थे, मुझे ऐसे डर नहीं लगा वो पढ़ के क्वांटम कंप्यूटिंग के बारे में. एंड अब मुझे बस समझ आ गया, इतना समझ आ गया कि आई कैन कॉल एपीआईज इन माय कॉन्वर्जेशंस. लाइक दिस इज
Hmm.
अ न्यू टर्म आई हैव बीन यूजिंग कि इफ यू वांट टू हैव अ गुड कॉन्वर्जेशन, स्टार्ट कॉलिंग एपीआईज कि यार
Hmm.
कुछ नया आया है मार्केट में, understand the basics that you can explain it, and just pull them up in conversations that might be related to it. It helps
Hmm.
a lot actually. And this is, I guess, it covers that same point. Ki, have an understanding of everything just so you can talk to
Correct.
yeah.
everyone.
Correct.
You don't know
So,
when you will need it, but you'll
yes,
need it someday.
exactly. Uh,
Hmm. Interesting. I like for me, right? I am a guy like I have a very different perspective when it comes to understanding things that way. ठीक है. I do things based out of कि मेरे को इससे क्या outcome आएगा and how I can apply it in the future. Okay.
hmm,
I'm not I I personally hate the way the entire education system is made. Okay, because like for example, I know what I want to do in the next 4 years, or I know what I want to do in the next 6 years. तो मैं बैठ के फिजिक्स पढूँ, डजंट मेक्स मी सेंस वैसा. बट
hmm,
ऑन द अदर हैंड यू आर सेइंग कि नहीं यार, व्हाटएवर यू आर learning, it will at certain
yes.
point get you somewhere. I
Hmm,
understand that as well, but one thing that I'm very pissed about is if I know, like there should be an option, right? Like for example, मेरे को suppose I wanted to build business. Okay, I wanted to build cool stuff when it comes to it comes to like getting users, comes down to basically building a product, selling it to the people, getting your customers and building a churn. ठीक है, revenue बना रहे हो तुम हर महीने. तो I was into that focus, I was into that field. Then my question here comes, why should I learn physics then? Why should I learn chemistry or biology or any other subject? I got to know this back when I was in first year. So like can you explain me this as well? ये मेरा point of view है.
Yeah, even
Yeah,
I
like
have an answer, but
Hmm.
neural nets pehle.
yeah,
Yes.
personally, what I think is that the reason that like most people have seen is that, like for example, I'll tell you,
Hmm.
for me, like there have been like I am interested in very weird subjects. Okay, so
Okay.
it just because I had good teachers in them, no other reason.
Okay,
So
got it.
basically, what I think in reality, what happens is basically like physics. For example, like I'll tell you something. People I've seen, they'll start making LLMs. Okay,
Hmm.
but they don't know what Bayes theorem is. So, like, what's the use? Like, you don't even know Bayes theorem. It's the
Hmm.
basic probability thing, right? So, like,
Yes.
वही चीज अब ये उनका भी गलती नहीं. It's not their fault.
Hmm.
Nobody has told them how to think Bayes theorem. So, like, that is something what I think people should know. Like, for example,
Hmm.
even I just released a blog recently, right?
Hmm.
On
Yes,
DeepSeek. Okay, so
I'll
DeepSeek,
open it.
yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'll just go to the GRPO section one.
Yes.
Just see
I
the
just
equation once. You as a newcomer, can you understand? What's your first reaction on seeing the equation?
I hate this.
Yeah, that's your first reaction, na?
yes.
Correct.
I
Correct.
knew that would be the first reaction because that was my first reaction as well.
Uh,
So now go to like the scroll down once. You'll see in each part in the start. What have I done? I have not even talked about the formula. I
hmm.
I
Hmm.
told an example. See, okay,
Hmm.
this is the scenario. You are doing this. So this is happening. I am just abstracting the math. You don't even
Hmm.
think about the math. What is math? I don't care. You just understand how this formula completely works. Okay. So even like that was a very complicated equation. Like anybody would get scared. So if
Hmm.
Yes.
you break it down into small parts, right, and you explain it to it like this, for example, you will automatically get it. Like for this blog, I think even like my target audience is people who haven't even gone to college. Like don't
Hmm.
Hmm.
need any math knowledge for this.
Yes.
So
Hmm.
that's the thing. You should be like the as a teacher. Like yeah, don't won't go into why they can't teach because that would be controversial. So I'll not talk
Yes.
about that. But
Hmm.
like the thing is that if your teacher is good, right? Like my
Hmm.
for example, signals teacher was very good, right?
Hmm.
So but
Hmm.
it was a subject I hated, but I love it right now just because of the teacher. So I think if you have a good teacher, right, you will whatever subject it is, you will love
Hmm.
it. That's the
Got it.
my perspective on this.
I
Uh,
guess I have two reasons
hmm.
majorly over here. Okay, why
Hmm.
you should learn probably everything that's coming in your way.
Hmm.
First reason, I was with the same mindset as you in my first 2 years,
Hmm.
and मुझे in general I felt one kind of emptiness कि यार I was kind of decent बना रहे थे महीने का 40 पहुंच गया था मैं, but
Hmm.
मुझे वो आ गया था कि यार what am I doing and why am I not doing things different from others? Because in our college, everyone is somehow making money. सबकी intern लग जा रही है, summer intern में सब 2-4 लाख कमा रहे हैं. Not सब, but a majority, the major portion
Hmm.
is making that money. तो
Hmm.
I realized at the end, मैंने जितना पूरे एक सेम में कमाया है, वो गर्मियों की छुट्टियों में कमा लेंगे. तो
Hmm.
money is not the factor that's going to fill in that emptiness. So
Hmm.
when I started this crypto wala journey, it started like 5 months back itself. Uh,
Hmm.
my job was to read research papers to understand what's happening, maths behind it, logics क्या build हो रहा है. उससे क्या हुआ? First thing, I got a lot of satisfaction कि यार I am ahead of the curve. मैं वो टेक्नोलॉजी शेप कर रहा हूँ जो शायद आज 5 साल बाद या 10 साल बाद अडॉप्ट होगी at a very huge scale. I don't even know if it will be adopted, but I know कहीं ना कहीं ये use case आएगा इसका. First
Hmm.
thing. Second thing, when you start going in depth in one field, like by depth I mean बिल्कुल foundational level पे समझ रहे हो. You know the ins and outs of that industry. You understand कि इस छोटे चेंज से इस 0.1% चेंज से ओवरऑल पूरे पिरामिड में क्या चेंज आता है. व्हेन यू हैव दैट लेवल ऑफ अंडरस्टैंडिंग, you start understanding other things also with that level of clarity. It's like एक जगह तुम फर्स्ट प्रिंसिपल तक चले गए, तुम्हारे लिए फर्स्ट प्रिंसिपल तक जाना दूसरी जगहों पे आसान हो जाता है. जैसे अभी मैं कैलटेक यूनिवर्सिटी का एक क्वांटम नेटवर्क्स पे पेपर पढ़ रहा था.
Hmm.
While studying that paper, there were some use cases that came into my head. I
Hmm.
know I cannot build those use cases today, but the day when those use cases will come into the market, I'll be the first person working on them. That keeps me ahead of the curve to a very large extent. And it's like it solves your whole intention as well. कि यार
Hmm.
मैं क्या करूंगा इस नॉलेज का मैं क्या करूंगा जो नई चीज आएगी ना मार्केट में, आई बी द फर्स्ट वन बिल्डिंग दैट.
But again, like just
यस.
to
हाँ.
just to
हम्म.
like clash this together,
या. हाँ. हाँ.
you are also somehow working in something that you know would be applicable to you. ठीक है?
यस
For
यस यस.
example,
हाँ.
you
हाँ.
are studying
यप.
research papers
एग्जैक्ट.
because you
हाँ.
know कि at incoming future this would be applicable for yourself, right? But abhi when it
That's our
comes to
assumption. In your see, it's different.
uh,
For us, it's the assumption कि ये research paper कभी ना कभी काम आएगा. For
hmm,
you, it's a defined result. तो
hmm,
ये डिफरेंस आ
correct,
जाता है.
हाँ correct.
बट
So
हाँ, वी जस्ट अज्यूम कि ये काम आएगा एंड दैट्स आवर मोटिवेशन. एटलीस्ट
हाँ.
माइन. आई एम नॉट श्योर विथ न्यूरल नेट्स.
Yeah, like for me also, like for me, my thing is like वो ही मतलब objective based कुछ नहीं है. पढ़ना है
Hmm,
तो पढ़ रहे हैं. Kind of like this. It
got it.
simply is.
So
It's very interesting. So yeah, I'm reading this.
it's very
हाँ.
weird because I don't come from that side of you. I come from a यार नहीं मेरे को जो करना है I'll search about it and I'll do it, and I am not that guy who goes into specifically like maths. I understand it very well. I have been good at maths, not crazy good but good enough. Second, I'm a CS, like I CSIT में हूँ मैं, so I know about development and I have been building a lot of products by myself, but still I have never went to the foundational level. मैं मेरे को आज भी कोई पूछेगा कि यार इन जावास्क्रिप्ट हाउ डज इट वर्क्स, मैं बोलूँगा भाई शायद मल्टी मल्टी कोर है, कुछ तो है भाई, मुझे बनाने आता है बस. आई डोंट नो द बेसिक्स ऑफ इट. ठीक है? इवन इफ आई पुट लाइक इफ यू पुट मी इन एन इंटरव्यू राइट अबाउट कि बताओ तुमको जावास्क्रिप्ट कितना आता है, आई वोंट बी एबल टू टेल हिम कि मुझे कितना आता है. But if you give me a task like bro, can you build me this, I would be like hell yes, I can build you this in like a couple of days. ठीक है? तो I come from the
यस.
uh, the क्या बोलते हैं इसको, अब प्रैक्टिकली जो भी काम में आ जाता है मैं बस वही करके जिससे मेरे को आउटकम दिखता है, जस्ट डू दैट. हाँ
बोलूं
हाँ.
इंडियन टर्म बनिया माइंडसेट
अब
कि ये किया, ये हो गया,
uh,
डन.
done. I come
Transactional
from that
mindset.
mindset, but I haven't been to your circle or been to your thought process कि यार नहीं, let me read about this research
हाँ.
papers. Totally honest, जब तक कॉलेज वालों ने नहीं बोला मैंने देखा भी नहीं है उसके तरफ.
हम्म.
I only go to research papers which talks about business development, business analytics. ठीक है? जहाँ पे मेरे को पता चलता है कि यार I am researching on some upcoming products. ठीक है? तो I want to know who all are my competition. तो मैं उनका पढ़ता हूँ, उनके बारे में समझता हूँ, how they build it, what were their challenges. That's where my research paper comes in. But my research paper doesn't know CS or basically maths जितना neural networks के research papers में होता है. So it's
Yeah,
interesting to see that.
I'll add something. This is not your fault also. This is the fault on the research paper part also.
Yes.
So basically, the thing is that like I have written one from scratch. Okay,
Hmm.
one paper I have worked on, the
Hmm.
first one. Okay, so
Hmm.
that hasn't been published yet. But okay, so I had to write that from scratch. और
Hmm.
मेरे दिमाग में चल रहा था I am writing it in a simple way, no. So the
Okay.
first
हाँ.
draft
हाँ.
was cancelled because it was too simple. You have to make it
Same.
as complicated as possible. So yeah,
Wow.
so like it's not your fault because even
हाँ.
I find like everyone finds. I'm not even kidding you.
Hmm.
Like the DeepSeek paper, right?
Huh.
So DeepSeek paper is still very easily written. It's not that hard. Like the only GRPO part is the hard part. Nothing else is hard. So
Huh.
Yes.
everything you can just read from the paper itself and understand because they themselves have not included any math.
Got it.
हाँ.
So,
Got it.
so like in the GRPO part, for example, even I was having confusion. And you know what I did? I copy
Huh.
pasted the equation, went to Perplexity Pro.
Perplexity.
I have 2, 3 of my own prompts,
Huh.
ran them, understood it, then I wrote it. As simple as
Got
that.
it.
It's
Got it.
like it's not something research papers are not written in that perspective that like
हाँ.
yeah, I don't know why they do it, but yeah. Oh, it's okay. I understand.
Hmm.
हो रहा है हो रहा है.
Adding on to this question, एक और like random question है. When you read a research paper, do you ever think about कि इस research paper के practical application पे मैं क्या build कर सकता हूँ? And if yes, so how do you go about it? Have you ever tried building something over a research paper till now? क्योंकि आई गेस कंप्यूटर साइंस में ये एडवांटेज है रिसर्च पेपर्स का कि जब एक रिसर्च पेपर आता है यू कैन बिल्ड ओवर इट एटलीस्ट एट प्रेजेंट
Yeah,
क्योंकि काफी सारी रिसर्च ओपन ओपन सोर्स हो गई है तो व्हाट आर योर
yeah,
व्हाट
I
इज
think
योर
is that,
अंडरस्टैंडिंग
for
ऑन दिस.
example, I'll tell you something. There are two kinds of approaches to this. Okay, one is like the first. I'll tell you the simplest approach is that for state of the art models. Okay, so in what happens in like when you are trying to beat the benchmarks or something like that, na. So what they try is that you have a model, you will tweak something, and you'll get a better model. Okay, they keep on doing this thing till they hit and trial se jab tak nahi ho raha hai. That is the thing.
Yes.
So this is something I have personally never done this. So for this is the first thing, and the second thing is that you might get a huge inspiration. As simple as that, like a eureka moment. Like you're reading some paper and let's say paper X, right? And when you're studying it, you get an idea. You read paper Y, read paper Z, and you suddenly get an idea. Okay, what if I combine X, Y, Z to build something? What if this is some
Okay.
interesting thing? So this is something like, yeah, even I am this part, even I am working on my summer intern. This is something that I'm
Okay.
working on my summer internship.
Interesting.
What can you share कुछ अगर if you're
Yeah, till the
working.
joining date does not come, I can't tell you.
Okay, okay. ठीक
I
है.
like till they don't give it officially, I can't really tell it.
हाँ हाँ. Okay,
Hmm.
okay.
Like yeah, so
Interesting.
yeah, like वही है कि मतलब तुम you should. I'm not telling read research papers. Okay,
हाँ
one
हाँ.
big thing that advantage that happens is that research papers is something that people already discuss. Like you can find thousands
Yes.
of blogs discussing research
You
papers.
can find a lot of these panel discussions as well. Uh,
Yeah, you don't need
yeah.
to even read the paper. You can just
Yes.
read like the lesson given by the author itself on the
हाँ हाँ.
conference.
Yes.
So yeah, whichever is
Conferences,
your.
right? हाँ. काफी conferences होती हैं. Yes.
Yeah, somebody said read DeepSeek V3 paper. I haven't gotten the time to do so.
हाँ.
Yeah, like I heard an interesting story. The attention
Hmm.
structure, I don't remember if it was an attention structure. It was basically an idea given by a like second year, third year student in China. He just randomly dropped the idea, and like DeepSeek thought it was a really good idea, and they worked on it for
हाँ.
one
Yes.
or 2 months, and it actually gave a very good model.
Like this, there's some guy just a tweet went viral. No, he was like, "I don't believe in such stories that one person can come up with such things. He doesn't believe in how
Yeah, yeah,
startups also started with one person." He wrote something around these lines.
yeah.
What do you believe in this
Yeah,
aspect?
for me, it's like I don't think the age factor or the experience factor
Huh.
is
Yeah.
does not matter in this factor, because
Hmm.
for this kind of stuff, it's a eureka moment. Eureka moment can
Huh.
come to anyone.
I guess
Maybe,
Bitcoin खुद यूरेका मोमेंट था.
why like you can't
हाँ.
like maybe the development part I can agree. Of course, that
Hmm.
person might not have that much like on hand
Yes.
experience as compared to the industry experts, right? But
हाँ.
yeah, like eureka moment can come to anyone, like even like a 5 year old. So like
Hmm.
it does not depend on the age.
Hmm.
हाँ. Interesting. And on the research paper side, I had one more doubt. Do you recommend people learning maths? Like uh, learning maths just to understand papers?
Yeah, so like I'll tell you, maths has two frontiers. Okay, one is learning maths and one is learning math for utility. Okay, so if you are
Mm-hmm.
learning math for utility, I would just say for your first 3 semesters, I think every college has maths one, maths two, and maths three, right?
Hmm.
Like some branches have maths four also, but yeah, leave that. It's
Hmm.
the first three, basically probability statistics, calculus, and linear algebra. These three topics will be there in every college. Please
Yes.
attend all the classes and do that sincerely. That's enough.
Mm.
That's enough maths. No, you don't
Huh.
need any maths except that. Anything except that is something you add on. For example, I'll give you an example. Like in my case, my area of expertise, like when as a kid, was number theory. Okay, so now number three, you will be like, number three पढ़ के
Even me.
क्या फायदा हुआ? I don't use it nowadays. Okay,
Yes.
I'll tell you the fun. Okay,
Mhm.
sometimes I give contests for fun. So basically, uh, like there was this four. I don't remember the theorem. There is something called Lagrange primes. Okay, so basically
Ah.
there are like four consecutive primes or something like that. So
Hmm.
a question like that came in a contest, and while you can write like 50-line code, there was a one-line answer. Return the answer. That's it. That's where
Hmm.
number three came in help. So yeah, like it's something like if you want to do interesting stuff, like I'll tell you something. Like if you want to do some maths for your own interest, do it, because doing maths is something, I'll tell you honestly, will improve your problem solving. And like at least for ML, it's very important doing math. Because, like, how do we understand? Like for example, the like this doubt is very prevalent in RNNs. The back prop PPTT, that is called back propagation through time. So like everybody has problem in this, including me. I also had it for like a month. Okay, so the thing is that people, yeah, the like the math is very overcomplicated. But if you actually look it from behind, like थोड़ा दूर जाके तुम देखो मैथ को, it's just chain rule which you study in calculus. It's
Hmm.
just chain rule, nothing else. If you can imagine, like in a chain rule क्या होता है कि like you change the variables and you extend the, like what do you call it, you extend the term, right? So whatever,
Yes,
like
yes.
it was like
Uh-huh.
a two
Huh.
term thing, extend
And
it.
you keep breaking it
Yeah,
down
yeah,
into a
that's
simpler
just
problem.
the backdrop in that. And like if you understand this math, that is enough. And you don't know which math when you will need. So if you're
Huh.
doing math, do it for your interest. But if you're doing it for utility, okay, just do
Yes.
your first three semesters. That's enough, nothing else.
Calculus, probability,
Yeah, and linear
and
algebra.
number theory, linear algebra.
Number theory is not that much required, like to be honest.
But number theory was very fun,
Yeah,
especially
for me
during
it was
the
fun.
INMO preparation. बहुत मजा आता था.
Yeah, for me in my Olympiad preparation, I used to just do number theory. See, my strong points were number theory, algebra, and inequalities. Okay, I
My was
geometry. I was,
number theory, geometry, weird combination. Number theory, geometry, and then there was this pigeonhole principle,
yeah,
probability wala. हाँ.
PHP to
तो
we even used to, today,
yes,
like, in
अरे
today's.
we had this instructor in our school. We started this maths club when we were in class ninth in our school, a bunch of five kids. It was like a very interesting group, and we got this professor, retired prof from some university in US. I forgot the name again. I'll search it on LinkedIn again. But that guy wrote a paper on PHP. So he was the one who introduced the five of us to PHP, pigeonhole principle. He explained everything, and it was fun. We spent like 2 months understanding pigeonhole principle. Super fun.
Yeah, for I will tell you something. Honestly, in
Hmm.
I don't think this culture is there in any other city. This culture is there in Kolkata a lot. Okay, I'll
Mhm.
explain this in like 2-3 minutes. Ki what
Yes.
happens is basically, ISI is there in Kolkata, which is like the best institute
Hmm.
for maths. Okay,
Yes.
so what happens is that the final year students or MStat students, they opened a institute of their own inside ISI.
Hmm.
So what they do is that they train people for Olympiads. Okay. So for that you have to sit for an exam, and I think the fees were, when I studied, it was around like 8,000 per year. Okay, which
Ah.
was very less actually. Eight
Mhm.
thousand per year is how much? Like around less than 1,000 per month,
Mhm.
like 750 per month. So uh, that's the thing. Like, and what they used to do. Okay, my like what do you call it? The person who taught me for first year. Okay, like the okay. So the syllabus they covered is very interesting. So they followed the
Ah.
BTech syllabus
Hmm.
for kids basically. From class five, we were taught
Yeah.
the BTech syllabus. So for
Ah.
that, we used to do like the my first year was for me, you could choose, and they had a very flexible system कि सुबह 8 बजे से रात के 8 बजे they used to have continuous classes for many teachers used to teach, and you could
Ah.
just sit and go and sit in any class. It's your choice. So like for example,
Ah.
there was this guy who is actually very brilliant. He's in ISER right now, and he went to camp many times. So he used to actually sit from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. He used to sit for all the classes every day. So
Hmm.
we didn't
He
have
went
that.
to camp. Interesting.
So like yeah, for me the first year was number theory and algebra. Second year was geometry and I think inequalities. I did it for 2 3 years and then I quit. And this is the culture we have in Kolkata. And like in Kolkata, there is also for physics also. There is this
Huh.
retired HOD from an NIT. Okay, so he is like 70. Okay, so he selects
Hmm.
people every year for Olympiad training in IPH. So
Oh,
every result you get from Kolkata for physics, like even if you know Sahil, he was the topper in our year. Okay, so
okay.
I think he got 2 medals in astronomy Olympiad. Even he was a student there, and like yeah, so like physics and maths के लिए ये दोनों these two sources, these two like
Hmm.
resources are great in Kolkata. I don't know about other cities if they have it.
Uh, I'll tell Bangalore because I belong from Bangalore. So over there, you don't even have this Olympiads culture. I was just introduced to it because of, again, a very good teacher. So he was Kushagra sir. I hope he's seeing this live stream and probably he remembers me. But Kushagra sir was my maths teacher in class 8, and he introduced me to a book called Pre-College Mathematics.
Yeah, that's the
And
beginning
he
of it for everybody.
That's the beginning of Olympiad journey. And he introduced me to a website called Euler's Project. Euler's Project
Yeah,
is a
yeah, yeah.
bunch of maths problems you solve via code because you can't solve it through your normal processing power. तुम्हारा दिमाग नहीं काम करता उनमें. तो he introduced me to these two things in class 8. And a same story. I used to sit with him after class hours in class 8. And the whole time I used to just talk about maths and pre-college maths solve करते थे साथ बैठ के. Then in ninth he introduced me to this INMO book by Arihant, bunch of 5 chapters,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
a very interesting book. I guess I still go back to those books because I never really understood the true essence of those books. It's like when I get bored at home, I just pick up those books and I'm like, देखते हैं अभी भी समझ आ रहा है कि नहीं. Let's
Yeah.
challenge our
For me, I'll tell
own
you something. Can you
self.
search something?
Yeah.
Just search
Uh,
AOPS maths.
which
AOPS
AOPS maths.
maths. Yeah.
And
So
then there
this.
were some resources on Homi Baba's website,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
HB.
yeah.
Yeah. So this is the book.
Yeah, if you see this site, okay, this is a
Uh,
basically consider this to be Twitter for Olympiad maths Olympiad.
fuck.
Okay, so this is something I
Nice.
was very active on, and even
Huh?
today also nowadays, if I'm bored, you can click community once, click
Community.
community on top,
Okay.
community and go to
Yeah.
forums.
Forums.
Yeah, so you'll see random maths problem every day uploaded. People are just discussing.
Oh, this is interesting.
Just select anyone if you want. Just
And
select
how
anyone.
many people are there over here? Approx?
It's very active, like if you let's have a context, right? See, yeah, 6 minutes ago,
Oh,
so it's
interesting.
very like active and
I
like
will. So
whenever.
I have this one friend I talk with about maths. He
Yeah,
loves
yeah,
maths. So that friend will love this. I'll
yeah,
share
yeah,
it to him today itself.
yeah, I'll tell you something here also.
Hmm.
One great thing about this is, like, for example, go to community once
Community again.
and there is
Forums?
contest, click contest.
Contests. Okay.
Yeah, so let's say if there is a regional Olympiad happening anytime, okay, let's say go to Argentina, let's say randomly.
Argentina. Yeah.
Yeah, just click it. You will
Yes.
immediately get the contest questions here.
Oh,
Click it, anyone,
uh,
click anyone.
fuck.
And
This
and it is
is
not
good.
solved by any people. It's solved by the people in the forum only. Click topic, like view topic once.
View topic. Okay.
So like
Ah,
nobody has solved it yet. So basically people randomly come here and solve it. Basically that's
this
it.
is so good.
Yeah.
Okay. And how old is this website? Because I
Very.
wasn't aware of such a
Yeah, this is
website.
over 10 years old. It's very old.
Fuck. Ah,
Yeah.
fuck.
This has been a
Okay.
very integral part of my childhood. This
There
website.
was one more website. कौन सा था? Wolfram Alpha. I
Yeah,
use
yeah.
that to uh, kind of search maths problems. Nice, yeah. I was actually searching for this book, but it's not opening right now. I guess college Wi-Fi में कभी कभी issue आता है. So this is the Napkin Project, Even Chan. So it's like it covers almost all the topics in maths, and it gives you like a roadmap to cover any topic you want to do. Like तुम्हें probability master करनी है, it will give you a mind map कि पहले ये chapter 1 कर लो, फिर chapter 8 कर लो, फिर probability पे jump करो. So it will tell you the prerequisites of probability as well. It will tell you the shortest path to master a topic that you want to learn. A very interesting book. It's an ongoing project. I guess you should check it out. बहुत अच्छा
Yeah,
लगा
yeah.
मुझे.
I'll check it out. I've heard of it actually. I've never
Yes.
explored it, to be honest.
Hmm. I tweeted about it once.
Yeah,
It
I've
it
heard
went
of it.
viral. It
मैंने को
blowed up.
like I've seen like
Hmm.
many posts about it, to be honest. Like,
Hmm.
but
Yes.
कभी explore नहीं किया
हाँ.
हूँ.
There's this one for statistics as well, which I have. I'll open it up itself, वो WhatsApp में, but I guess maths काफी discuss किया. Let's jump from maths अभी. Uh, मैं list check कर लेता हूँ. After maths, we had quick updates on recent papers. कुछ interesting reads अगर मिल जाते मुझे.
Yeah,
I
like
need
for
those.
that, the best thing is I will tell you
Hmm.
is just be active on Twitter. That's enough. Somebody will post something.
Follow neural nets.
No, I don't post that much. Yeah, but like if you see, let's say DeepSeek released, like yeah, there are many papers which don't have that much like
Hmm.
hype, and I don't think you
Yes.
need to go into specifics of those. But if there's a hype
Huh.
paper, like let's say DeepSeek came out just this week, na, so everybody
Yes.
should read that. That's something
Huh.
right. So if you
Hmm.
open your TL, every third post
Uh-huh.
is about DeepSeek, right?
Yes. Yes.
That's it. You just need to be active on any social
Hmm.
media platform. Even like if I'm not recommending this, be active on LinkedIn if you want. Like even they are posting about it.
हाँ.
So
I
like
guess
you get the
LinkedIn तो
topic name and do it.
okay topic name उसमें search कर लो.
खुद कर लो.
Okay. हाँ.
Yeah, I will add something to this about
Hmm.
searching. Okay, like this thing I have seen a
Yes.
lot of issues with people. People don't
Hmm.
want to do the Google search. As simple as that. I don't
हाँ.
know why. If
Hmm.
you are going to learn something, you need to do it. I won't do it for you. On person X won't be doing it for you. And like if you let's say if I want to let's say for example I want to learn what base theorem is, for example. Okay. So let's say I love the MIT lectures. Okay, can there be any guarantee you will also love the MIT lectures? You
Hmm.
might hate it.
Hmm.
So it's better like instead of like going after roadmaps people design, it's better to make your own roadmap.
On roadmap, correct.
Exactly. I
Like
hate roadmaps. हाँ.
roadmaps, I think we have talked about it in our previous episodes
Yeah,
as well.
I
Hmm.
love roadmaps. Just they
हाँ.
have to be mine.
Correct.
Hmm.
I mean, I come from a background जहाँ पे मेरे को कोई roadmap नहीं था. I have been following people, understanding how to do it, and then I started doing it. So
Hmm.
I totally don't believe on roadmaps. Also, people who put out roadmaps are putting out roadmaps which work for themselves, and it didn't work, and it might not work for others as well. Like मैं जिस
हाँ.
तरीके से कर रहा हूँ शायद सबके लिए वैसा तरीका काम ना करे. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yes.
like for example I actually recently tweeted about like for example gate DA. Okay,
Hmm.
so it's
Hmm.
new thing, so obviously there is no resources for it, like it has
हाँ.
been there for
Hmm.
only 1 year. So anybody doing gate DA, okay, I'll tell you, I helped someone do gate DA. I taught that person, but it was from CS229. Okay, and
Hmm.
Hmm.
CS229's biggest problem is very extensive. You need to
Hmm.
have a lot of math background to understand it. First time, even I didn't understand it.
Hmm.
So that is the thing. Like there is, yeah, I can't suggest somebody CS229 at the first beginning because by I don't know, like if he's good at math, he'll understand it. But like nobody will understand it in the first go. So
Hmm.
what I like even people if you see people who have studied in Stanford have said this. You don't think like CS2 design is very math
Hmm.
expensive, so you have to tread cautiously. So वही की है कि मतलब if I am comfortable, like I have studied machine learning, classical machine learning from
हाँ.
this CS229. I've studied it from StatQuest. I've studied it from random blogs. Okay, so
Hmm.
Hmm.
that's it. Like you have to find something that you find vibe in. Even the DeepSeek thing I wrote right now, no. So
हाँ. हाँ.
even before I started writing, I had to read a lot of blogs. I had to read a lot of. I
Hmm.
have to see. I saw around like 1.5 hours of content
Hmm.
from different other people. So like yeah, you have
Hmm.
to figure that out what you understand, and yeah, that's it.
Yes.
Hmm.
I guess मुझे मिल गई एक और रिसोर्स है. This is for understanding probability. I guess it's made on Blogger. It's Medium itself. So you start this. It's called uh, and then you start with the chapters. Basic probability, first chapter. You click on chance events, and then there's a basic theory. You flip the coin, and then the graph keeps changing, and you keep. It's
Crazy.
like a tool to kind of learn. Then you move to the next chapter. You roll the dice. You get see the graph updating live. Roll 100 times, so it updates. Roll 100 times, it gets closer to the middle line. So it's crazy. Then variance का concept explain करता है. Your chapter ends, one ends over here. Then you move to the next chapter, compound probability. It's a very interesting resource, and the more you
Yeah,
search over internet, you'll find these resources. You can't like एक इंसान तुम्हें बैठ के ये सारी resources नहीं दे सकता है.
Can you open up
This is
that
where,
Bayesian inference? Second last
which
one.
one?
Bayesian
Last
inference.
basin inference.
इसके बारे में ही पता है मेरे को अच्छे से.
Yes.
Bayes theorem.
So
I think that is one of the craziest theorem I've heard.
तो एग्जैक्टली मेरा पॉइंट वही जो
Hmm.
न्यूरल नेट्स ने बोला कि यू नीड टू स्टार्ट सर्चिंग. आई
Hmm.
जस्ट केम अक्रॉस दिस रिसोर्स व्हेन आई वाज सर्चिंग. आई वाज जस्ट ब्राउजिंग रैंडम थिंग्स. दिसंबर वाज माय फ्री वाला मंथ. आई डिडंट हैव एनीथिंग टू डू, तो मैंने इंटरनेट खोला कि चलो प्रोबेबिलिटी ब्राउज करते हैं एंड दिस.
I am like pissed भाई कि how the hell did you go and you search about probability?
It
Like
was a
man,
random thought.
like totally, like to be honest, I like the last time I searched about probability was because I was in my examinations. ठीक है.
हाँ.
उसके बाद तो like today I'm looking at this, I'm like okay, this is interesting because I
Hmm.
somewhat like one of my best chapters that I ever had, like I loved in math. One is
Hmm.
probability, second was geometry. ये
हाँ.
दोनों chapters I am able to visualize it.
आई गेस
ठीक है.
there's one more thing. Brilliant.org भी बहुत अच्छा काम करता है इसमें.
Brilliant.org, हाँ हाँ.
Neural,
Then
yeah.
ये
have you ever used it?
Not
Person.
extensively, but I've heard of it.
अच्छा, तो वही I guess my favorite creators told about it in YouTube. Number File
crazy,
promoted it a lot. I
crazy.
guess my journey in physics and math started because of Number File
Yeah, yeah,
and
same,
Minute Physics.
same,
दो
same.
channels.
बचपन से देख
So
रहा हूँ दोनों को.
बचपन से देख रहे हैं तो वही वाली चीज है. आई फील एडटेक इज मूविंग इन दिस डायरेक्शन वेयर यू स्टार्ट विजुअलाइजिंग थिंग. मुझे ये फ्यूचर दिखता है.
Yeah, like
Bra-
I'll tell you honestly, na
हम्म,
one
हम्म,
like I'll tell you like for okay, one thing is for people who don't want to go through the search. Okay,
Hmm.
like,
हाँ,
okay, if let's consider you're very lazy, you don't want to search, go for the books. As simple as that. जो
Hmm.
books लिखे हैं, they are really good. For example, for probability, Sheldon Ross. Okay,
हम्म,
that's golden. Like if you read every line. Okay, one big thing. Like I have asked this to everyone, and like many people can't answer this. Is that when we are doing expectation, right? For example, right? The
Hmm.
expectation value of it. Why is it the mean? Why is it? Why do we call it mean expectation? That's something that no book has covered except Sheldon Ross. It's
Crazy.
just because like if you just rearrange the terms, you will see that they are the same terms, but they're not the same thing. I've seen
Hmm.
many professors say that mean is expectation, expectation is mean, but they're not the same thing. They're different things.
हम्म.
They just happen to have the same formula.
Bhai, I
even
don't know
I
what
even I
expectation is.
didn't know this.
I don't know what
Yeah,
expectation is. I know mean. I can't even remember if
Uh,
I've heard about
yeah. This is a
expectation.
misconception I know many people have. Mean is not
hmm.
expectation. Expectation is not mean. It's just they both
Hmm.
have the same formula.
I guess I want to understand research in India. Why don't people go into research first thing? Money is one factor, obviously, but
Hmm.
if you actually look into research as a field, you
Hmm.
have a lot of money you can make. Because
Correct.
मैंने देखा है क्रिप्टो में researchers minting money, becoming multi-millionaires. Bhai, there's this researcher, Eigenlayer was started by a bunch of three researchers. Bro, all of them are worth more than $50 million each. They're researchers. तो
I
मनी वाला मोटिवेशन आई गेस हटाते हैं.
हटा देते हैं. I think coming
Vitalik was a researcher. Satoshi Nakamoto was a researcher.
researcher,
Now,
correct.
अब हमें researchers पैसा कैसे बनाते हैं वो पता चल गया. And I guess a lot of mathematicians in past have been great traders. They have made a
Hmm.
lot of money in the financial markets. In fact,
Hmm.
पूरी derivatives industry एक mathematical trader की वजह से आ गई थी. तो
Hmm.
न्यूरल नेट्स इंडिया में रिसर्च क्यों नहीं होती? व्हाट्स योर
See,
टेक ऑन दिस?
honestly, first thing I'll tell you, okay,
हाँ.
let's first tell you about like, let's not talk about tier 3 colleges first. I'll just explain it from a tier 1
Yes.
or tier 2 college.
Explain the people who have resources to do research still not going into research.
Yeah, so ye
Yeah.
mainly the issue of not doing research with having full resources happens in tier 1 and tier 2 colleges itself. Okay.
Yes.
And
Mm.
yeah, this problem is not there in tier 3 because they don't just have the resources to give that. Okay. Like, for
Mm.
example, if I need compute right now, if I write to my professor, he will give me compute. Maybe like
हाँ.
not today, but like I'll give you an example, very good example. You know the Ian Goodfellow book by Deep Learning book,
Yes.
right? Goodfellow.
हाँ हाँ.
That costs more than 20,000. So I can't buy it, right?
Mm.
I told my library and they got it for me in 20 days. That is
Mm.
something that is resources which many colleges won't do. Okay. So in tier 1 what happens is that, okay, I'll say something कि tier 1 में जो जाते हैं, majority people aren't from good economical background.
Hmm.
Many people are not from good economical background, and they just uh, first the family factor comes in because you're not making money otherwise. Because in the
Hmm.
research में जब घुस रहे हो ना, research में पैसा है, but at the end you don't get it
हाँ
when you're
हाँ.
starting out. So
Yes.
you have some responsibility to bring your parents out of poverty also. That's the
Hmm.
biggest reason. And the second thing is that मैं tier 1 colleges में one big problem is not there कि placement का you don't have to think that much. Even if
Hmm.
you're getting placed in a shit company also, you're getting at least 5-6 lakhs. That's
Hmm.
guaranteed.
Mm.
Okay, 5-6 lakhs is very much enough for any like normal simple lifestyle. Yeah, 5-6 lakhs is enough. So
हाँ.
the thing happens is that, for example, a person is really brilliant. Okay, so for example, that person will easily crack a HFT or a quant, right?
Mm.
Hmm.
It's really
Yes.
brilliant.
Hmm.
कौन 1.5 करोड़ छोड़ेगा? Simple बात है. Like
Hmm.
you are getting 1 crore here, or you can follow your passion. So at
Hmm.
the end of the day, in India, that thing never comes. Ki, I want to do passion or something like. What I have seen in most people, the mindset is there. Ki I am not. I have an opportunity to make money. Then why am I not making it? I can make more money. And in
Hmm.
research, what happens is basically in for example, I'll give you an example. In my example, they I sometimes do freelance, okay, on random shit. Okay,
Hmm.
random shit I don't
Mm.
have zero clue about. Okay, so
Hmm.
when I
Like
do the freelance, I say हाँ कर दूंगा, ठीक है.
like freelance एक project का example
Okay,
please.
so basically this was my last freelance project, was to make a basically a model. Okay,
Hmm.
I just
Mm.
had to make a model which was going to show decent accuracy and just launch it to any website. Okay.
Hmm.
हाँ.
Okay. So that was the thing.
I
Now
guess
the
do you
model
know
was
Shubham on Twitter?
Shubham, as in like, yeah, I know him. Like
Yes.
he posted
So
some freelancing video, right?
हाँ. तो the thing is उसने भी ये point बोला. He says yes to random freelancing projects. Even
Yeah,
though genre different है, पूरा industry अलग है, but ये point same है.
Hmm.
yeah. Now for me, I'll tell you something. The
Hmm.
model part I can handle. Website I have zero
हाँ.
idea about. Okay, I
Yes.
can't build a website. As
हाँ.
simple
Hmm.
as that. मेरे को
Hmm.
just basic HTML CSS आता है. I don't know anything else. Okay, I can't build a website. What did I do? I made the model working fine. Opened cursor, हो गया,
Okay.
built the
Ah.
website,
Got
launched
it.
the model, got my money. As simple as that.
Got it.
Hmm.
And I got basic idea कि कैसे वेबसाइट बनाते हैं. I got like a,
Hmm.
I don't do कि पूरा कोड कॉपी पेस्ट कर दिया बिना समझे. That's bad.
हाँ.
Don't do that.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Hmm.
get a basic understanding, and like, so that's the thing that happens. Ki yeah, you can do that, but in research you can't do this stuff at all.
Hmm.
Okay.
You
Interesting.
don't
हाँ.
understand it, you're not even going to do it. As simple as that.
Hmm.
So I am personally abhi writing one research paper on behavioral economics ki how do you shape people's एक group of people society के uh, how do you incentivize their actions on internet not in the real world में तो हम subsidies दे देते हैं हम फिर उसके बाद कोई tax benefit दे देते हैं tax increase कर देते हैं what how do you shape those things on the internet and this personally this is what crypto is trying to do. I am trying to like draw some patterns from the real society and this internet wali society and putting it out in a research paper. तो
Hmm.
उसमें I realized कि the first 4 months are just random internet browsing. You won't get anywhere. I guess ये एक बहुत बड़ा factor है because 4 महीने तक जब दिखता है ना कि कुछ नहीं हो रहा है, कि ये तो मैं सिर्फ ब्राउज कर रहा हूँ और कुछ लिंक्स कॉपी पेस्ट कर रहा हूँ, 3-4 टेक्स्ट लिख रहा हूँ, अब वो takes you away from research personally.
And
Hmm.
one thing I'll
हाँ
add, okay, so basically this the second kind of research that will not attract people is something when you have an idea that is so vague that nobody has
हाँ
ever worked on it. You
हाँ
have zero resources to work on it. So you just
हम्म,
have to stare at a blank board till the next idea comes to you. That's really
हाँ
boring. I don't think
हाँ.
anybody would love to do it. But yeah,
How
if you
how do you set a timeline to such research? That's my biggest question.
like I'll tell you something. The first
हाँ
research project that I
हाँ
worked on is
हाँ हाँ.
basically it was a passion project of my senior who is currently an alumni now.
Hmm.
So
Mhm,
it was his passion project which he never could complete, and he got me on board on it, and he said, "Can you do this? Basically, can you complete this?" He
Hmm.
did half of
हाँ
the
हाँ.
work. So I worked for
Mhm,
6 months on that, and we completed the paper. The paper is complete. Just
Hmm.
haven't published it and haven't like checked completely. मतलब 90% done समझ लो. So
हाँ
Hmm.
हाँ.
that's something on that thing. I'll tell you something. The coding part took 20-30 days to be honest, and
Mhm,
after that, 2 months were just blank staring at the board till the next idea came.
Hmm.
Just that much. And in the case of research projects under colleges, right?
mhm.
You will be working under someone, so they will be giving you a
Yes.
deadline, so you don't have to worry about it. But if it's an
Okay.
independent project, जितना
हाँ
time
हाँ.
लगा लो.
Because my project is personally independent yeah, but I'm working with a prof from FMS Delhi. So वो है, but he's not setting timelines. He's like, I want a good thing. I want a good paper to come out
Yeah,
of
yeah.
this.
Hmm.
So he's like, I've never worked with crypto dudes, and अगर crypto ये कर रहा है, I want a proper good paper coming out. I don't want this surface level shit. So
Yes, yes.
Hmm.
he's not giving me deadlines only, and I'm like, why is the needle moving? Is it not moving? What's happening? So I guess that takes you away from research. But
Yeah, basically people
wha-
lose interest over time,
huh,
that's the thing.
uh,
Hmm.
can we do research parallelly to our main thing? How's it?
मतलब I don't
How's it with
understand this part.
technical things?
I don't get
क्या
your
बोल?
point.
Like मान ले you're doing something XXX क्योंकि तुम्हें जॉब करनी है, फाइनेंशियल सिचुएशन ऐसी है, या फिर मनी सबको बनानी है, लाइक दैट इज वन मोटिवेशन राइट. उसके पैरेलल में इज इट पॉसिबल टू डू रिसर्च? डे कैसा होता है,
If
हेक्टिक
you
कैसा
are
होता है?
understand, I'll tell you honestly,
हम्म,
like I've worked on a few. It
हम्म,
if you're doing research under someone, if it's independent, it's up to you, right? It's
यस.
totally up to you. You have the full liver. But if
हाँ.
you're working under a project and everything like that, the thing is that a researcher's job isn't 9 to 5.
हाँ
Researcher's
हाँ.
job is 24/7. तुमको रात के
Hmm.
2 बजे भी आइडिया आ सकता है. Nobody knows. Okay, and
यस.
you might have to wake up and work on that. So I don't think if you're doing research, like even like the interview I have recently given, like the summer intern, right? They like explicitly say don't do anything other work, just focus on this. So
ओके.
like the thing is that if you're doing something for a research, at least for beginning part, at least your college UG life or PG life
हाँ हाँ.
thing until
यस.
PhD. In PhD,
हाँ
what
हाँ.
happens? You'll start getting grants. Okay, so you'll
यस
get
यस.
earn enough money, so it's not a
हाँ
problem.
हाँ.
But before PhD, at least do it out of passion. Don't actually like I have also seen people doing research internships just for the sake of it. Don't do it.
To have a good resume for
Yeah,
foreign universities.
yeah, just don't do it. It's basically not helping anyone.
मैं तो पूरा passion project. I started reading. See, I have this book in on my table because this is the book that inspired me to research on this topic. It's the shortest history of economics. It's by a Nobel Prize winner. And when I was reading this book, I realized a lot of things that happened in human society, or the turning points of human society where there was a change in mass human behavior, is linked to an economic catastrophe, or the other way round. A economic catastrophe is linked to a human shift in human behavior. And this actually fascinated me a lot कि अगर एक ग्राफ बनाया जाए हिस्ट्री का, then economics is a string tying all the dots in that graph, the turning points, the major points, and that's where this motivation came in. So I always have this book on my table. It's just kept in front of me कि कभी भी कुछ समझना है कि why am I doing this research paper, I read the first chapter of it again and I get my motivations aligned.
Yeah,
So हाँ,
motivation has
I
to be there.
yes, I get your point over here. मैं एक पर्सनल सवाल पूछता हूँ अभी. How many projects are you working on at present parallelly? कितने passion projects? कितना ऐसे ही बकचोदी में कर रहे हैं? I know ground zero is one of them. Internship को भी मैं as project गिन रहा हूँ. How many of these things are happening
So
parallelly in your life?
currently, I my joining date is next week, so I'm free, actually very
हाँ.
free right now.
हम्म.
So basically, let's consider I have already joined. Okay, let's
हाँ हाँ.
consider that thing. So that
Yes.
time, I'll first, the thing is that it's since I have college, it will be remote for a few months and then it will be on site. So for the
हम्म.
remote thing, I don't have to work that much, like 2 3 hours per day, and that's enough.
हाँ हाँ.
And what I do personally every day is that, like I am not a person who is an expert. Okay,
हाँ
like
हाँ.
this is
Yes.
very clear. I am not an expert.
Same.
I'm
Same me.
just a person who is learning every day and just sharing my learnings. Okay,
हम्म.
तो वही है कि मैं आई ट्राई एवरी डे कि 2 घंटा पढ़ाई करूँ, एज सिंपल एज दैट, ऑन
Okay.
समथिंग लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल आई एम करंटली स्टडिंग टुडे, आई डिड द डीप राइट, आई हैव टू स्टडी एंड लाइक tomorrow I have a plan to finish one of my blogs, so I have to study mini LLM. So I'll study mini LLMs for 2 hours tomorrow, and that, and
हम्म.
the blogs thing, what I try to do is once a week on topics that people choose, like what audience choose, or somebody, if somebody has posted something interesting,
हाँ.
maybe this can be a yeah, and yeah, like study every day is not something like yeah, and even after an expert, I'll tell you something, even like professors,
Even
okay,
after that, yes.
yeah, they still study every day, and you don't have
ये
to.
हमारी ऑडियंस ही वो है ना, इस कॉलेज स्टूडेंट्स, तो मैं उस हिसाब से लिख रहा हूँ.
Like I'll tell
Yes.
you honestly, ki, like if you yeah, study every day, as in like I'll tell you something. I personally in my whole life I haven't studied much. I have always
Same.
studied 3 4 hours every day, just every day. That is the main thing. I have studied every
हाँ.
day, but I have not studied
I,
every.
I don't have that 8 9 hours wali story except the last 3 months of JEE
Yeah,
because
of
I didn't
course.
study in 11 12.
In
But
reality,
in general, अगर मैं अपनी पूरी, I started studying in class 6th when my dad started teaching me maths early morning. But that was the only thing. पापा ने सुबह 5 से 7 मैच पढ़ाई, पूरे दिन अब खेल कूद.
हाँ हाँ,
तो वो
बचपन
वाली
में
चीज
do
थी.
खेल-कूद only,
हाँ
no need to study,
हाँ.
man.
तो
Actually.
वही, आई गेस वो वाली स्टोरी कभी मैच ही नहीं हुई मेरी कि आई वाज स्टडिंग सिंस 6 फॉर 8 hours a day. नहीं नहीं
Yeah,
कर
yeah.
रहा था मैं स्टडी.
Honestly, like the only time, even in college life, where I
हाँ.
study 8 9 hours is just before that night before the exam.
यस. हाँ. आई डोंट डू दैट आल्सो नाउ. सो वो वाली चीज है. ओके. ये अंडरस्टूड. एक और क्वेश्चन है. व्हाट इज योर एंड गेम? क्या करना है लाइफ में?
See, honestly, I'll tell you something.
हाँ
See, I have few end games. So one,
हाँ.
the first main thing what I want to do is that I see, to be honest, education is very gatekept. Like in India, not everywhere. Okay, your
हम्म.
education is behind a paywall. Okay, so like for example, if let's say if for example, yeah, this is a really bad example, but I'll give it still. Like for example, somebody gets AR1, right? Gets IT Bombay CS seat, okay? And let's say somebody gets 20 lakh rank, okay? And he is studying in some village, any random college, which like nobody knows, okay? So, and so what I want to do is that, okay, that IIT Bombay CS guy is of course very talented. I'm not
यस.
discrediting that, but
हाँ
let's
हाँ.
say that person is not good at, for example, development, which is very
हम्म.
rare. But let's consider a hypothetical situation where he isn't, and the 20
हाँ.
lakh person guy is very good at development. They both aren't getting the same resources currently. Yeah, you can get
यस.
it through internet, but
हम्म.
internet does not provide you the environment, as simple as that.
हाँ.
It does
यस.
not give, like I
हाँ.
personally, okay, me personally, I come from a tier 2 college, so I can't go in my college and discuss stuff. I literally
हम्म.
have no one to discuss stuff with. Okay,
हाँ.
so that's it. Like you don't get the environment yourself to discuss stuff
हम्म.
basically.
यस.
So, and I want to do something like this. Ki, let's say this is education, that IIT Bombay CS Air 1 and the 20 lakh guy both will get the same education on
Hmm.
at least something, let's say on a random topic, for example.
Hmm.
वही कि मतलब in it should not be something, and a big inspiration for this is physics wala, for example. Okay,
Hmm. Hmm.
so me personally, when I started watching him when he had 5,000 subscribers, nobody knew
Ah.
him. Okay, so I
Hmm.
was there in class 7 and 8. I used to do all his videos. 11, 12. Ke, if you remember, he used to do blackboard,
Yes,
sorry,
yes.
whiteboard. Pe,
Yes.
those
Uh-huh.
were like very like low quality videos and everything. And I studied all of them, and all my base, JE ka base was from his videos. Okay, and like yeah, so if like that, like even today what he tries to do is that even for a low cost get education to everybody, like even uh, JE has become available to everybody just because
Hmm.
of that guy. That's what I
Huh.
believe.
Why, this is a good way to think about what physics wala did. It's like a huge thing,
Hmm.
to be honest. I'm realizing it now. मैंने personally, I've said a lot of गालियाँ to PW, but if you think in this way, I guess मैंने गालियाँ देना भी थोड़ा comes from that privileged background. My privilege speaks over here. I understand that, but uh, interesting, yaar.
I will give
Uh,
you one good example for this. Tell you the stark differences. So okay,
हाँ,
so basically मैं for example FITGY में join किया था at around 9, no, class 9. Okay, so
yes,
you know that like 4 year program is there for FITGY, right?
हाँ,
So everybody
yes,
gets in during that time only. So I got in
हाँ,
class 9, and so basically there was this kid who used to come from Shiliguri. Okay, Shiliguri is around I think 500 kilometers away from Kolkata. So he
yes,
used to come every weekend, study and go back. Do you understand how hard it is? And this
yes,
year, the best performer from West Bengal who got under AIR 50 in all exams, NEET included. Okay, he is from Shiliguri. So that, and you understand how
ah,
what the difference is.
yes,
And
हाँ,
he has never traveled to Kolkata.
hmm.
That's it.
Okay,
That is the thing what I aim to do.
okay,
So that is
interesting.
like one point, and personally on the second point, what I genuinely want to do is maybe do like there is some I can't tell it because it's confidential, but yeah,
Uh-huh.
there are some 2 3 ideas which I'm currently working on, and if they work out at the end of the day, it will be something that will actually, let's say, help every Indian at the end of the day. That's what I am. Ki,
Help every Indian in what aspect? अगर
it's
इतना सकी, what part of India will it simplify? Like क्या simplify कर रहा है
इंडिया का मेन
India?
प्रॉब्लम है कि मतलब लेट्स से फॉर एग्जांपल इंडिया का मेन इशू आई कैन टेल यू इज दैट people are many people are backward. Okay, many people are
हाँ,
backward, like they don't have the
yes,
formal education, right? So the
yups.
thing that I am trying to build, not build, basically get into, like solve the
Hmm.
problem, that
Hmm.
I want to tap into that thing. It does not matter if
Okay.
you're backward, you don't have formal education, you
हाँ,
have formal education.
हाँ, got it.
It will help everyone. That's the thing.
Okay,
That's the idea.
ठीक है.
These are the
Uh,
two good things I like actually have.
I guess जो first thing पे बात की है, that your goal for education कि gatekeep है, you don't want it to be gatekeep. I guess a lot of people have this goal and कोई भी competition नहीं है. Everyone who's doing this is a partner in some or the other way. How are you doing things differently from others or at ground zero जिससे तुम्हें पता है कि तुम इस goal की तरफ जा रहे हो? Or even if ground zero is related to it?
So
Because I feel
basically,
it's related to this motivation.
yeah, I have seen okay, every educator you will see started out with this free structure, okay,
Yes.
and they now have a paywall after 2 3
Yeah.
years.
Ha.
You have noticed it with everyone, okay.
Everyone. A to Z.
So the thing is that we at Ground Zero, for example, me and Himanshu personally, okay. So
Hmm.
if you have ever attended have you ever done any Stanford lectures ever, like
Yes.
ever?
I have the human behavior ones. And
Yeah,
even
okay.
the CS50 Harvard ones, I guess.
Yeah, so if you notice, in Stanford, what do you have? The first there is a lecture, then
Hmm.
you have a quiz, and then you
Hmm.
have hands-on learning that topic.
Yes.
You get
Ha.
a project or you get a notebook where you have to solve some problem.
Hmm.
So in India, I don't think anyone does this. Anyone
Ha.
does. India stops at the theory,
Hmm.
maybe goes to the quizzes, but never goes to
Yes.
the hands-on learning. So
I
that's what.
guess Walter Lewin ka course was also like this. Walter
Yeah,
Lewin's physics
every
lectures.
foreign course is like that. Every
Huh.
foreign course has it. But in India, we don't
Hmm.
have. So if you notice what we do, it's something like me and Himanshu aren't, of course, experts. Okay. We both are still in the learning phase. Okay. He's also just passed out and I am in my second year. Okay. So of course we are
Hmm.
still learning every day. So we are not expert in every topic. So ground zero is not something that me and Himanshu are building. It's something you are building, any other
Huh.
person is building. So like
Okay.
you can come teach your topic, do the
Hmm.
set the questions, set the quizzes, set the projects and everything. Okay,
Hmm.
so every, like for example, the first week I had done, second week was done by a person who is an masters from ISI, and
And अभी क्या है? As far as I know, अभी you control like next week कौन पढ़ाने वाला है या anyone can come and teach. How's it working?
basically we have a form. People
Okay.
apply and we reach out to
And
them. Okay, you can
and
teach.
you kind of double down कि इस बंदे के पास credibility है, इसके पास नहीं है. Does it work like that?
No, no, it's not about credibility. Like what we
हाँ.
do is that, like the video, of course, we have the account credentials, right? So they can't directly post in that.
हाँ
So
हाँ
the first thing is, and of course, they don't have a team of editors from their side also. No? So the thing
हाँ
is that
हाँ.
I can edit videos on my own. So basically, what happens? They send us the videos, we edit it, basically edit it, and then post it. And we don't
Okay.
try to see ki, matlab, okay, you have to have a
हाँ.
PhD or something like that. You can be
Okay,
anyone
got it.
if you can teach it. Like, okay, one interesting thing that we have in our forms is that how
Mm-hmm.
will you teach? Okay, that thing, that
Mm-hmm.
is the thing we mainly see. Like if you have a course plan, you can
Got it.
do it nicely. Like, yeah,
हाँ.
I'll read you. Like one of the replies was, I will teach it very nicely. Of course we are not going to
Mm.
accept that, but
Mm.
one guy had actually written like a 3-day plan in details.
Yeah,
That
that
guy, we
okay
have
makes
planned
sense.
him for week 6.
हाँ. Okay,
That's
got it. So I have
And
like
wait, I'll say one more thing that
yes.
Ground Zero is different in is that
Hmm.
Himanshu and me, we have contacts in companies and professors. Okay, we
Hmm.
can directly reach out to them. So what in
Okay.
Ground Zero we do is we bring them. You can
In
like,
case
for
you
example,
don't have someone to
yeah,
teach
I can't tell
this
you the
week.
name. So basically, there is a
Uh-huh.
big researcher in Google DeepMind.
Yes.
So that person has invented a lot of things that we use on a daily basis in machine learning. So we are trying to get him on board for the next week. So
Nice.
so basically you understand, you are studying some topic, you're studying the research paper, and we are
Huh.
getting the author of that research paper to talk with you next week.
Bro, that is super crazy.
Yeah, that is something we're doing. And one main thing about ground zero is that like what is the finances of this? Like, that might be a question. Like how are we financially dealing with this?
Uh-huh.
So currently everything is like the people working on the team. They're really brilliant. There are 2, 3 moderators who are making the thumbnails, doing everything,
Hmm.
uh,
Yes.
even making the website. They're doing it for free. That's really
Huh.
great. So
Uh-huh.
and yeah, currently it's a free structure only. People who want to
Yes.
donate can donate, and what
Hmm.
we do to hope to do in the future is introduce competitions, and for that we'll of course need some money,
Ah,
and possibly we will crowdfund
yes.
them. If it's not crowdfunded,
Interesting.
we will get it ourselves.
Hmm.
So that's it. That's the thing. We don't want to be like a
Huh.
uh, we don't want to put you behind a paywall, but if you
Got it.
want to pay, it's your choice.
So I guess ये personally, whatever you said about Ground Zero gives a lot of clarity to me and Aryan on staying jobless. क्योंकि you are actually one of the person who has come here and kind of tried to tell people how they could probably staying jobless का motivation वही है कि be a sovereign individual rather than being stuck to one project, one company and stuff like that. ऐसा नहीं है कि काम ही नहीं करना है बैठे रहना है. So
हाँ.
interesting. I would actually want to sit and talk to you about this in more detail. And मुझे एक और सवाल है about Ground Zero. Do you plan to like मैं अपने कॉलेज का स्ट्रक्चर बता देता हूँ. In our college we have. Do you know the product folks?
I have heard of them, but I have not.
So it's a community that teaches product management. उनका एक चैप्टर है हमारे कॉलेज में called TPF X IIT BHU.
Okay.
Are you प्लानिंग टू एक्सपैंड ग्राउंड जीरो थोड़ा, कि जिससे मॉडरेटिंग में आसानी हो जाए, कि कॉलेज चैप्टर्स हो जाए, दीज आर लाइक सब सेगमेंट्स इन ग्राउंड, है सेम कम्युनिटी, बट एक कॉलेज के बच्चों को मैनेज कॉलेज के मॉडरेटर्स कर रहे हैं,
No,
लाइक अ
like
क्लब.
I'll tell you something, na. It's something. Ground Zero is not like a company or something. It's a
हाँ
community,
हाँ,
as simple as.
दैट्स व्हाट आई एम
And
टेलिंग, बट
अभी
वही कम्युनिटी को मैनेज भी करना होगा ना, लाइक यू
हाँ,
कांट
तो अभी
मैनेज
जैसा we have, I'll tell you
बियॉन्ड अ
honestly, like
लिमिट.
me and
हाँ
Himanshu, we don't like, directly do anything that much nowadays. Except कि
हाँ
अभी for the first, like we have two educators for the future weeks, but for week 3
हाँ
and week
हाँ.
4 we didn't have, so we had to teach. But
ओके.
except that, everything, the write-ups, the everything are done by people from the community. So currently it is
नाइस.
online. Everything, I'm
हाँ
not
हाँ
even kidding. The write-ups, the thumbnails, the GFX, the website, everything is done by community. We have not even touched
हाँ.
that.
आई
So
गेस.
like
हाँ हाँ.
that's
बोलो
something like
बोलो.
now the thing is that yeah, currently what we have expanded to Twitter पे I think 1.5k है, Discord
यस.
पे भी 1.5k के आसपास है.
ट्विटर वॉज
So
इम्प्रेसिव यार. 24 आवर्स में हो गया आई गेस 1K.
yeah,
कुछ
yeah,
तो
yeah.
हुआ था ऐसा. वेरी कूल.
So basically, the thing is that what we want to do in the future is basically first thing is that अभी तो Discord पे community है ना, तो one of our goals is that we will actually start posting content on a separate website as well. कि मतलब website में भी like रहे कि मतलब a person who is not using Discord can open the website and just search its content and
यस.
everything like that. It's basically like you see जो coaching का material, coaching का websites होता है ना,
हाँ
like you have where you have to pay and you get the, like for example the physics wala website itself, right?
हाँ हाँ.
So you can search content on that and study, right? We want to build that thing. And
अरे
the
लाइक समथिंग लाइक दिस वेबसाइट यू सेड, AOPS.
yeah, kind of like that, kind of like
यस.
that.
दैट्स वेरी कूल.
So that's in the future plan, but Avi, the thing is that Himanshu and me, both of us don't know any web development, so we are trying to get somebody from the
ओके.
community to do it.
हाँ.
And so yeah, so
आई
basically
गेस हम भी सेम अप्रोच जा रहे हैं. हमारा जो राइटिंग वाला एस्पेक्ट है, एटलीस्ट जो न्यूज़लेटर और एक्स अकाउंट आएगा, देयर इज दिस गाय हु रीच्ड आउट टू मी कि I love writing. I want to just contribute, and he's like, okay. I'm like, okay, this is cool.
yeah,
तो वो हर एक एपिसोड को न्यूज़लेटर फॉर्मेट में ले जाएगा and
yeah, yeah,
things like
that is
that.
actually great. Like, yeah, I think
Hmm.
in the future, as you said, na, college chapters and everything like that.
Yes.
That's something we can work on the future. That's a really
That
great
that's
idea.
something that would simplify your community management वाला पार्ट,
Yeah,
कि
yeah,
यार ये जो 100 लोग हैं इस कॉलेज से, इन्हें इस कॉलेज के बच्चे ही फ्री में मैनेज कर रहे हैं टीम
yeah, yeah.
बना के. Interesting.
That's
I,
something. Yeah,
I,
that's a really
I
great
would
idea.
love seeing Ground Zero actually shape in such a format. I could help you experiment with this college chapter वाला, at least in my college, क्योंकि अभी मेरे पास टाइम है थर्ड फोर्थ ईयर का, तो देखते हैं.
Yeah,
uh,
I'll tell you
we'll
something
set
about
up on a call.
colleges. Okay, I'll tell you my personal experiences. The
हाँ.
reason we didn't go with college at first only
You
because
shouldn't go with colleges at first. It should be your second step.
yeah, yeah, that I agree. But
100%.
like even like
हाँ.
the thought didn't come at first, anyways. Like this is the first time I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
Is that the thing is that we saw that in reality what happens? Let's say start a college thing. I say we are going to do a 1 week workshop kind of thing. Okay.
हाँ हाँ.
On the first day 100 लोग आएंगे.
Yes, yes,
Next दिन
yes.
10 जन भी नहीं आएंगे. That's
हाँ. True,
reality.
true.
That's the thing. In online, the thing is that the thing currently we are thinking online, ki people can revisit that, but you can't revisit the workshop except if
हाँ
it is an online concept. Like
हाँ.
I don't. Like, in reality, what happens? In, out of 100 people, only 10 people are actually interested. This is reality. You
Okay.
can't
हाँ.
escape from it. It's actually reality.
Yes.
I've seen this
तो
thousands of times. Like if you even see there is this economics course. I think I don't remember which college. Okay, so it's a very famous economics course. The first video has like 3 million views. The second video has less than 10k views.
अरे,
Okay,
I'll show you Euler's project. First problem has like 1 million solves. Last problem has 200 solves.
yeah, that's it. यही है. Like people will
हाँ.
quit. As simple as that. It's like
Yes.
something. I'm not even ashamed to say I do it a lot itself.
Even I
In
do it.
many projects.
Everyone does it. It's human
Everybody does
nature.
it. It's human
तो
nature. And like after some time you have to of course prioritize three, four
yes.
things. As simple as that.
My
And a
thing is,
workshop isn't in the list.
the thing that I told was कि workshops तो eliminate करते हैं, बस college chapters में क्या होगा, एक physical interaction के लिए एक वो बन जाएगा, space बन जाएगा कि यार
Yeah, yeah,
एटलीस्ट 100 लोग कर पा रहे, तो वो वाले एस्पेक्ट से सोच रहा था. We could talk about it whenever you're
yeah,
free.
yeah. We can talk about this
Because I,
later. And
I
it's a
want to
really great idea.
contribute in it. Reason being, Ground Zero जिस दिन तूने launch किया था, I was very happy. I don't know why, because I used to like your blogs a lot, and I'm like, ठीक है, अब इसे formally structure किया जा रहा है. Would be something great to see how it turns out to be. And अच्छा काम कर रहे हो यार, because to be honest, India is lacking behind in this aspect of understanding things properly, and that's where
Yeah,
I
like
feel.
honestly, I'll tell you in machine learning specifically. Okay, like India में
Mhm.
जो majority problem है कि nobody wants to learn it as simple as that. Like the
Yes.
process, somebody has written a book for a reason. No, like somebody has wrote a research paper
Mhm.
for a reason. So, for example, if I want to learn how LLMs work, right? For example, LLM
Haha.
is a case. Everybody is like, okay, bro, I have to study LLMs. I know LLMs. You go to LinkedIn, everybody has it in his bio, LLM
E-
expert or something like that. For example, okay, everybody will have it. Okay,
Everyone wants to call APIs.
yeah. So it first starts from a neural network, then
Mhm.
goes to RNNs, then goes to LSTMs, then goes to GRUs, then goes to the attention paper, then goes to the attention layer, then goes to the transformers. Then you can maybe enter into LLMs. And if you don't follow this process, like okay, let's say if I'm telling you, ki, why did we need the transformer? We could just work with RNNs, right? RNNs
Mm.
2014. So the problem of vanishing gradients, exploding gradients, or context loss, that thing, if you don't understand, like you will not feel complete yourself.
Yes.
Ki, okay, why am I doing this? Why did I
Mm.
invent a transformer? Okay, like for example, we are currently using chain of thought in everything, right? Like
Mm.
O1, R1 also, they're using chain of thought, right? So why are we using chain of thought? Chain of thought, why are we using it? Why are we not using normal LLMs? So yeah, for example, the strawberry problem, right? How many hours are
Mm.
in a strawberry
Yes.
problem?
You wrote a
Why?
thread on it.
Yeah,
Very
why am I?
interesting thread. मजा आ गया.
Yeah, why
Yes.
am I doing it? It's just
हाँ.
Bayes theorem, nothing else.
Mm.
It's just Bayes theorem. So if I
Mm.
don't know Bayes theorem, I can't relate that to it. No,
Yes.
I
हाँ.
literally just wrote a one liner Bayes theorem. So that's it.
Mm.
Like if you don't follow that structure, right? Like even in ground zero, we have not started with that structure because like we wanted the
Yes.
first week to be
हाँ.
catchy and transformer
Yes.
सबको पढ़ना है ठीक है nobody wants
हाँ
to
हाँ
study how
समझ गया.
to do NLP. So
हाँ
we
हाँ.
wanted that initial gain. That's why we did transformers. I'll be honest with you. Now, if
Yes.
you see in the recent times, we have started from basics again. I taught
हाँ.
basics of NLP. Himanshu is teaching intermediate NLP right now. After that, you can do transformers, and maybe after that, we have an idea for going into the vision
Mm.
stuff. Basically, that we will not
Okay.
teach. Of course,
Yes.
we have gotten other people to
Now,
teach.
uh, I imagine I'm new to this whole world of AI, LLMs, machine learning. How do I use Ground Zero for maximum benefit? Discord is complicated. So explain me the step-by-step process कि Ground Zero में if I start exploring this community today, how do I take out maximum utility from it?
Okay, so basically the thing is that okay, let's consider कि you're not using Discord. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
the thing is that in the website we have a website which will currently be updated here because it's a work in progress. So maybe
Mm-hmm.
by the end of this month we will have a working website, and in the website you will have every content that is there on Discord. Now,
Mm.
Ground Zero does not aim to spoon feed you. As simple as that. I am not guaranteeing you will get a job. You'll understand ML after this. So
Mm.
if you notice something, after every lecture we attach 5 6 links.
Ah.
If you don't go on with that, that's
Yes.
something you're missing on. You have to do it yourself. Like if I am teaching you RNNs, I do personally, me or anyone does not have the time to drag you line by line what RNNs is. Okay, what we can do is that we can push you in the correct direction. Okay, we are basically a guide. Okay, so
Ah.
let's say if I taught you transformers, right? You
Yes.
should have the curiosity to go and learn it on your own after that. After
Mm.
we are giving you the holistic development. It's not like we are
Ah.
not. You follow our exercises and quizzes every day. No. So okay, it's a fun thing. So people say we have problem writing code in research papers, right? We can't write
Mm-hmm.
code from research papers. That's a big problem,
Yes.
no? So if
Ha.
you follow a transformers paper, sorry, means transformer course, right? And if you
Ha.
solve all the assignments
Mm-hmm.
without knowing you have implemented, attention is all you need. That's how we have made it.
Nice. Nice.
You don't know it, but you have actually wrote the code for a whole research
Mm.
paper on your own.
Okay.
So
Got
that's
it.
the so everything, every exercise that we have set is based on some research paper. So every
Mm.
week you do, you have solved 1 2 research papers behind the scenes, and you don't even know about that. So that's
Mm.
it.
Wow. Okay. Fascinating. ठीक है. I guess सारे पॉइंट्स टिक तो हो गए जो कवर किए. I can talk about a lot more topics, but 12:30 हो गया.
Yeah,
So
let's. I think
Aryan,
let's
Uh-huh.
ask
one
the.
of the last question. Like, let's wrap it up. Aryan is very good at this. He wraps up conversations like
Yeah, yeah. Wait.
crazy.
Siddhant,
Yes.
like
Uh-huh.
let's like
Yes.
answer like the questions they have asked
Oh,
like in the
uh-huh.
internet.
A
That would
lot
be
of
better, no?
questions. Yeah, yeah.
I'll answer. I'll just read them and answer it. That would be better,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Yeah. Name of the book. You have answered it, right?
Yes.
So yeah. So somebody asked, can we ask him about his winter internship? Okay.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I can't go in detail because it's a okay. The winter internship was a Microsoft project. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very heavily confidential. I can't share you inner details. So I can only just because I think Microsoft will sue me if I tell it. So
They
so
will.
it's just, yeah. So basically the thing is that the main issue was that let's say they have an issue. Okay. So
Hmm.
on that issue, the main problem with the issue is that there has been no research done on it. Okay. And they needed they have zero data. Like, there is no data. So we had to generate synthetic data for that. So I worked on that for like 1.5 months. I generated synthetic data
Hmm.
around, I think, around like 150 data which I did. So that was the main work. I had done like data work only, nothing more.
Hmm.
Books take a lot of time. Should we make notes in the first read? Yeah, best way to read books is read the text on your own and the math part write it out. That's better. Like
Yes.
derivations
Huh.
and everything. पर स्टोरी
Huh.
लिखने का जरूरत नहीं है तुमको.
Yes. Yeah.
Why
I
will
see a
you?
lot of people writing down story.
Yeah, no need to write this. Like that is good for you. Like that, as I said, na, ki expectation is not mean. Mean is not
Yes.
expectation. That's a
Huh.
good story I can tell. It's not something I
Hmm.
should like write it down or
Yes.
something. But I have
Huh.
written down the derivation for it. That's
Huh.
it.
Like your status today is a story that you might not write in notes, but it's good to tell.
Yeah, the X to the
X
power
par
X one.
X.
Na?
Ha. Very
Yeah.
good status.
So yeah, that's just for
Huh.
fun. And
Yes.
okay, feed is weird. I like these things. That I don't know. Ask Elon Musk how to get a feed, but that I can't help. Please share resources for ML and CP. ML is resources, as I said. You have to find your own. Otherwise, I have like you can share my blog.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can share it in
I've
the
shared
chat.
your X account, but give the which blog?
Yeah, just wait. I'll send it to you in WhatsApp. Can you
Yeah,
open
yeah, send
WhatsApp?
me. Yes, yes.
Okay, okay.
I'll open it on another screen and I'll
Yeah, of
share the
course.
link. Yep.
Wait, I'll send it to you. Yeah, while I'm sending to you, I'll read the next question.
Yeah, yeah, perfect.
Yeah, how do you find good teachers? Yeah, this is purely based on luck. You either
It's
find or you don't
super.
find.
You need to be lucky.
Yeah. I am very lucky. All my teachers are good
If
in
you
my
don't
branch.
have good teachers, then follow good people on social media.
Like for example, even I don't get a good environment in my college. Okay, I literally before I got my
Yes.
internship, I used to get made fun every day for studying ML. I'm not even kidding. Like I used to get bullied and dragged every day for this. I'm not even kidding. So
Okay.
yeah, like yeah, environment ढूंढना है तो बना लो खुद का environment.
So sorry from people like me. I am a very bad person in this.
Wahi, like yeah,
Huh?
these are you have to realize these kind
Huh?
of people are just noise. You just have to
Mhm.
filter them out. Just ignore nothing.
Yes. Huh?
कौन सी ब्रांच से हो? I am from CS branch only, and I don't think
I've shared the blog link.
yeah,
I'll put it in description as well.
yeah, that would be better. What is my area of research? So my area of research was earlier CV, means computer vision, currently LLMs, and I'm working in uh, kind of a similar place where DeepSeek is. DeepSeek का जो research area है, it's very similar. So yeah,
Hmm.
kind of a LLM research only based. मेरा दो प्रोजेक्ट में LLMs ही था. Current one is also LLMs only. So yeah, that's it. I don't think there are any more questions.
There's no other question.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I guess first thing, neural nets.
Hmm.
Love talking to you. I guess ये second
Yeah, wait,
conversation
wait.
है.
I'll just thank
हाँ,
11 people
yes.
who have been there from the start and have been watching the whole thing. There
And
has,
I'll tell the other stats. There are 154 views that came. Average view duration is 7 minutes 36
yeah,
seconds.
that is actually very good for attention span.
Yes,
Hmm.
it's pretty huge. So I guess we got the right people on this team. And 11 guys, thank you guys
Yeah,
for
because
being
I've
there.
seen these 11 people stay from the like
Yes.
start.
Uh-huh.
Huh. And thank you, Neural Nets, yeah. It was good. I love talking to you.
Hmm.
So, yeah. I guess, huh, Aryan, wrap it up.
आप करते हैं.
Yes.
So first I would say कि most of the things that you guys talked about is like beyond my imagination, beyond what I think or beyond what I do. ठीक है. You talked about research paper, you talked about a lot of stuff which involved a lot of math, involved a lot of things which I don't have any clue about. ठीक है. तो it was quite insightful for me. लास्ट के 4 पॉडकास्ट वाज इंसाइटफुल फॉर सिड, बट ये वाला
Yes.
मेरे लिए इंसाइटफul था. आई
I'm not
थिंक.
good at freelancing, so
हाँ.
I learned a lot.
Yes, and I was not good at research paper, and it's like I do have a lot of questions on how to make research papers more fascinating, or where do I find people like for me you can like can you provide me some sort of research paper that makes my thinking in my domain better. Like there are few questions like this, but I'll keep that up for like Twitter के लिए लिखता हूँ मैं वो. ठीक है. I'll put that on Twitter. But thanks Neural for joining in. Your name and your identity will be never disclosed by us.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's something maybe I'll do someday
Yes.
after some time.
And
Yes.
as Neural Net said, everything begins at neural networks.
Yes.
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 Yeah, like
So,
I'll tell
yeah.
you something about
Uh,
identity. No, there is
huh?
something like very funny. Some people actually have found me, okay, and I
Okay.
get
Yes.
these DMs on my personal mail. I don't know how. Like, yeah, yes, yes, I found you. You are this person.
See,
Yeah, so those are really funny.
neural
Like, I
nets,
think
even
5, 6
I
people
know
have
about
found.
you.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
I- it's
You
like
I
you
have
told
told
me your college,
personally.
and I know someone in that college, like my best friend's younger sister studies over there. She's your
Okay, okay.
junior. And yesterday I got to know your name as well. So I
Yeah.
can find every detail of you.
Yeah, the thing I
Uh,
have built my
yes.
profile is that if I
Uh,
don't give you a hint of
yes.
my, you
You
can't
can't
find.
find.
Yeah,
Haha. Yes, I
Hmm.
agree.
you need some hint,
Hmm.
starting point. So
Yes.
yeah, like yeah, it's better if you do it. Yeah. Wait,
Hmm.
I'll one more last question is there. I'll answer this one.
Yeah.
Is there any way to develop intuition in them various operation? Yeah, in intuition development is in any field, not in like anything, is done by solving problems. As many problems you'll solve, you will get intuition. It's as simple in maths also. I've seen keep like कोई सम मेरे से पहले 10 मिनट में नहीं हो रहा है. After a day of studying that, I can solve anything. Like even in you said the dimensions, how can visualize dimensions? Is that basically you have to study matrix and determinants very well. When you know how like in machine learning, you have 4,000 dimensional metrics. How can you imagine 4,000 dimensions? You can't imagine that in real life if you
Hmm.
haven't worked with matrices.
Yes.
So yeah, do maths. As simple as that. You do the maths, you'll get it.
Hmm. I guess maths develops a lot of
वही
intuition, to
प्रॉब्लम
be
सॉल्विंग हो
honest.
जाता है. लाइक इवन आई
हाँ,
हैव डन सीपी ब्रो. लाइक आई रीच्ड अ डिसेंट लेवल इन सीपी जस्ट बाय नॉट इवन हैविंग एनी लाइक.
not even problem solving exactly. मैं कहूँगा intuition भी develop होता है. I'll talk about trading. Maths, being good at maths just helped me understand कि ये trade क्यों execute करनी है, क्यों नहीं करनी है. And these things help a lot. Financials चमकने लगते हैं कि हाँ बिना ग्राफ देखे समझ आ रहा है कि ये सही है, ये बैलेंस शीट अच्छी है, ये बैलेंस शीट
हाँ हाँ,
अच्छी
वही
नहीं है।
मतलब एक गट
एक
फीलिंग आता है।
एक गट फीलिंग आता है, यू
हाँ
कैन नॉट एक्सप्लेन पीपल व्हाई दिस इज
हाँ
राइट, व्हाई दिस इज रॉन्ग। वो बस पढ़ा है तो आ गया,
हाँ, लाइक आई टेल
ऐसा
यू
वाला।
दिस ना, लाइक
हाँ,
इफ यू आर सॉल्विंग अ सम ना, कुछ आंसर
हम्म,
है ना, यू विल बी लाइक नहीं गलत तो है ये, कहीं से तो गलत है।
हाँ,
वही चीज इफ यू बिल्ड एन इंटुइशन इट विल हेल्प अ लॉट, दैट्स इट।
हाँ, हाँ। आई गेस मैथ्स इसमें बहुत अच्छा, मैथ्स डेवलप्स अ लॉट ऑफ इंट्यूशन इन रियल
हाँ
लाइफ। नाइस। तो एंड करते हैं।
ठीक है फिर चलो।
हाँ
Yes.
चलो फिर,
या
बाय,
गुड नाइट गाइस।
Thanks,
लेट्स
guys.
एंड द स्ट्रीम।
We let's go. Bye.
End. And we are done, we are not live anymore. How
I
was
hope
it?
so.